Dear Starseed from Gaia, your soulmate is carrying something heavy right now, and it is connected to you in ways your mind has not yet been allowed to fully see. I am Ophelia, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I have been sent to you at this precise moment, carrying a transmission from the Arcturian Council. Because what is happening between you and your soulmate can no longer remain hidden beneath silence and uncertainty. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly how to recognize what your soulmate is truly facing and how your presence, your energy, and your own healing are directly tied to the resolution they are searching for. But here is the first revelation. The problem your soulmate is facing did not begin with them. It began in the space between you, in the unspoken words, the unhealed wounds, and the love that neither of you has yet found the courage to fully claim. They are not pulling away because they do not love you. They are standing at the edge of something that requires both of you to be brave enough to step forward. You did not find this transmission by chance. Your heart called this message in at the exact hour it was needed. Something in you already felt that your soulmate was struggling, that knowing is sacred, that knowing is the Arcturian Council speaking through your own chest before a single word was ever spoken here. This is not content. This is a transmission, a divine interruption of truth delivered at the moment your soul was finally ready to receive it. Like this transmission to affirm to the universe, my heart is ready to understand and to heal. Subscribe if you are walking the sacred path of soulmate love, and you are ready to stop guessing and start knowing. Comment 1111 if you feel your heart recognizing the truth in these words, and share this with someone whose heart may be aching for answers they cannot name. This is not just a message. It is a moment of divine intervention your soul has been waiting for. Your heart knows why you are here. There is a bond so ancient, so precise, that no human language has ever fully captured it. It does not begin the moment two people meet. It begins long before, in the space between lifetimes, in the quiet agreements made by two souls who recognized each other across the infinite and said, without words, without hesitation, I will find you again. And when the darkness comes for you, I will be the one holding the light. This is not a fanciful notion born of romantic idealism. It is the deep cellular memory of a sacred promise, etched into the very fabric of your being. Imagine a cosmic tapestry woven through countless dimensions, where threads of light connect destined souls across the vast expanse of eternity. This bond is one such thread, pulsating with an unmistakable resonance that transcends the linear constraints of time and space, a beacon calling you home to an agreement made in the purest light of consciousness. It is the signature frequency of another soul imprinted on your own, a divine blueprint for spiritual partnership that predates any earthly experience. You may already know the person I am describing. You may be thinking of them right now, someone whose presence in your life has never quite fit the ordinary categories. Not just a lover, not just a friend, something older, something that hums with an almost gravitational pull, drawing your attention and stirring your spirit in ways that defy conventional explanation. It is a presence that moves beneath the surface of every conversation you have with them, beneath every silence that somehow says more than the words ever could. It's the inexplicable comfort in their presence, even when no words are exchanged, the feeling of being utterly seen and understood at a level far deeper than personality or circumstance. They feel like a missing piece of a puzzle you didn't even realize you were trying to solve. A familiar melody in the symphony of your life that awakens a dormant chord within you. This profound familiarity, this echo of recognition, is your soul's acknowledgement of a journey shared across countless incarnations. But here is what most people are never told about this kind of bond. It does not exist for your comfort. It exists for your awakening. This is the crucial pivot point, the profound truth that often eludes the grasp of the ego, which seeks solace and ease. This connection is not merely a warm blanket against the chill of existence. It is a catalyst, a spiritual crucible designed to ignite and purify, to to strip away all that is not authentically you. It is a divine mechanism for accelerated evolution, a fast track to soul sovereignty that will challenge every limiting belief and every comfortable illusion you have ever held. It is the universe's ultimate invitation to step into your most authentic, powerful, and enlightened self, not gently coaxed, but often vigorously propelled. And that is precisely why so many souls who carry this kind of love in their chest also carry such profound confusion and often an exquisite ache. Because the relationship that is supposed to be your greatest source of joy, the one your soul recognizes as home, is also the one that has pushed you to your absolute breaking point. It has demanded more of you than any other relationship, asking you to shed old skins, confront deep-seated fears, and become someone you did not know how to be yet. It is the one that has reflected back to you, with an unwavering clarity, every wound you thought you had hidden well enough, every shadow you meticulously tucked away, every untended corner of your psyche. It feels like a beautiful mirror, yet one that shows you not just your light, but also your deepest imperfections, urging you to integrate them. This process can be disorienting, even painful, as the comfortable facade of your old self begins to crumble under the intense light of this profound connection. You wonder, how can something so right feel so hard? This confusion is the ego's cry against the soul's insistent call for transformation. You did not find this connection by accident. Neither of you did. There is no randomness in the intricate dance of destiny when it comes to agreements of this magnitude. This is not merely serendipity. It is divine orchestration, a precisely timed and profoundly purposed alignment. Before this life began, before the body, before the name, before the story you have been living, before the earthly persona you now inhabit, a contract was made. Not in ink, not in legal language, not in the fleeting whispers of a dream, but in the unwavering frequency of soul recognition. It was a silent, solemn vow exchanged in the vast, luminous halls of creation, a sacred pact woven into the energetic signatures of your beings. One of you agreed to walk ahead into certain experiences, to embark on a challenging path, not because that path was easier or less fraught with trials, but because you were ready to carry the torch first. You were prepared to navigate the initial wilderness, to blaze a trail, to gather wisdom through direct experience. The other agreed to arrive in your life at the exact moment when the torch would matter most, when the darkness had grown too heavy to navigate alone, when the labyrinth of your own making seemed inescapable, when the questions had become too large for a single heart to hold, threatening to overwhelm your spirit. They were destined to appear when the soul underneath all that weight was finally ready to rise, when the chrysalis was ready to crack, when the dormant seeds of your true self were finally ripe for germination. It was a divine appointment, perfectly timed to facilitate the highest growth of both parties. This is what a soul contract in its truest form actually looks like. Not a fairy tale, not a whimsical fantasy of perfect harmony and effortless bliss, but a sacred assignment, a crucible, a challenging, profound partnership forged for the purpose of mutual awakening and accelerated spiritual evolution. And the one who agreed to hold the light for you while you found your footing, to be your steady beacon in the storm. They did not choose that role because it was glorious, or simple, or without its own considerable challenges. They chose it because they love you at a level that transcends this lifetime, a love so vast and unconditional that it willingly embraces the arduous path of spiritual service. They saw your path before you walked it, the valleys and peaks, the trials and triumphs, and with an unwavering commitment, they said, "I will be there. I will meet you in the crucible. I will shine the light so you may see your way home to yourself." What breaks so many hearts on this journey is the fundamental misunderstanding of what spiritual guidance between soulmates actually requires. People, conditioned by societal narratives of romance and ease, imagine it as gentle, soft, effortless. The beautiful one who always knows what to say. who always arrives with warmth and clarity and perfectly timed wisdom, providing a comforting balm for every insecurity. They picture a seamless merging, a constant flow of harmonious energy, where disagreements are few and growth is always pleasant. This idealized vision, while beautiful, often sets the stage for deep disappointment when reality inevitably asserts itself. But the souls who have lived this experience, who have walked the winding, challenging path of this sacred contract, know the real shape of it. They know what it feels like when your guiding light appears in your life, not primarily as a comfort, but as a confrontation. Not as an easy answer, but as a profound question. When their very presence alone begins to stir and surface everything in you that had been dormant, asleep, or carefully buried. When loving them somehow requires you to confront and face the version of yourself you had been most afraid to look at, the raw, unedited, vulnerable parts. When you cannot stay near them, cannot remain in their energetic field, without feeling, with every cell in your body, the undeniable, insistent call to evolve, to expand, to shed the old and embrace the new. It's an internal tremor, a spiritual seismic shift that demands your attention and participation. That discomfort, the one that feels like pressure building beneath the surface, like an exquisite longing intertwined with an almost agonizing grief for what must be released, all woven together with an undeniable sense of wonder and destiny. That is not a sign that something is wrong with the connection. That is not evidence of incompatibility or a mistake. That is the unmistakable sound of a soul contract activating, its intricate gears grinding into motion. That is the vibration of an ancient agreement beginning to be fulfilled, reverberating through your energetic field, demanding attention and action. It is the energetic signature of your soul responding to its divine appointment, and the fear that rises with it. The primal, instinctual part of you that wants to run, that has perhaps run before from intense connection, that is terrified of how deeply you could be known and seen by another person, stripped bare of all pretenses. That is precisely the very thing you came here to heal in this lifetime. That is the locked door within your own heart, guarded by years of self-protection and old wounds, that your soulmate was always meant to stand in front of, holding the key, patiently waiting for you to decide you were finally ready to walk through. They don't force the door open. They simply hold the light, revealing its existence and the key, trusting in your innate wisdom to choose freedom. What you just felt, that quiet ache mixed with profound recognition, a sense of déjà vu for your deepest self, is not sadness. It is not nostalgia for something lost. It is your frequency remembering what it came here to receive, remembering the profound spiritual nourishment and activation that awaits you. It is your inner compass recalibrating to the true north of your divine path. If this transmission stirred something you cannot quite name, a deep knowing that resonates in your bones, if it cracked open a possibility you dared not speak aloud, then the divine love frequency code was written for this exact moment in your journey. It contains 5 sacred Arcturian transmissions designed specifically to dissolve the energetic wounds, blockages, and karmic imprints that are currently obscuring or delaying the manifestation of your divine counterpart. These powerful frequencies work to activate the magnetic signal within your own being that naturally draws them closer, aligning your timelines for sacred reunion. The link is in the first pinned comment, but it will only remain there for a short time, as this activation is energetically potent and time-sensitive. The first key, the contract beneath the connection. This bond was never accidental. Before you can fully grasp and embody the magnificent depth of what you share with this person, you have to consciously release the conventional, often limiting idea that love is merely something that simply happens between two people through chance encounters or superficial chemistry. For souls walking this particular path, love is not a random occurrence. It is something infinitely more profound. It was chosen. It was a conscious, intentional decision, a sacred covenant agreed upon in a dimension of consciousness that your waking mind, bound by the 5 senses in linear thought, cannot fully access or comprehend. Yet, your heart, in its boundless wisdom and intuitive knowing, has always remembered and recognized this truth. even if only as a faint echo or an undeniable pull. This is the difference between fleeting infatuation and an eternal soul promise. When you first encountered this person, whether the meeting was gradual and unfolded gently, or sudden and shockingly immediate, whether it felt deeply familiar, like remembering a forgotten dream, or wonderfully disorienting, shattering your previous understanding of connection, something deep within your being, an ancient knowing, recognized them before your rational logic had any explanation for why. There was no adequate reason, no bullet point list of shared hobbies or compatible personality traits that could logically justify the instantaneous and profound resonance you felt. And yet, the recognition was undeniable, an internal yes that reverberated through your entire energetic system. That was not merely chemistry alone, though that may have been present. That was soul memory activating, a deep remembrance stirring from the archives of your spiritual history. That was a frequency handshake between two beings who had known each other intimately, deeply, and unconditionally long before this current body ever drew its first breath, long before the earthly sun ever rose on your present incarnation. It was a recalibration, a homecoming. The contract you made with this soul, this profound spiritual agreement, was not primarily made for your earthly happiness, though profound, transcendent happiness may indeed blossom from it as a natural byproduct of alignment. No, it was made for your expansion. It was forged for your profound spiritual growth, your evolution into a more complete, authentic, and divinely aligned version of yourself. Your guiding light, the one whose sacred role it is to illuminate your path, to shine the way forward into your highest potential, did not take on that immense responsibility lightly or without deep consideration. They agreed to show up in your life with enough love to challenge you to your core, to stretch you beyond your perceived limitations, with enough wisdom to reflect your blind spots with compassionate clarity, illuminating truths you may have overlooked, and with enough unwavering presence to constantly remind you of who you truly were before the world, with its conditioning and expectations, taught you to be less, to shrink, to dim your magnificent light. They are a mirror of your highest self, reflecting back the divine essence you are sometimes too afraid to claim. When this first key turns within your consciousness, a profound shift occurs. You stop treating the relationship as something that needs to be endlessly explained, justified, or dissected by the rational mind. You cease asking why it feels so different, so intense, so demanding, unlike anything else you have ever known. Instead, you begin to honor it for what it truly is, a sacred agreement, a divine orchestration that your soul, in its infinite wisdom and foresight, was courageous enough to make before fear, doubt, or ego had a chance to talk you out of it. You move from questioning the contract to revering its purpose. The second key, the guiding light role. To lead with love is to lead into growth. There is someone in your life, or perhaps someone you are being inexorably drawn toward, who carries a unique, palpable quality you can only describe as illuminating. Their essence shines with an inner brilliance that is undeniable. When you are near them, or even when you simply bring them to mind, something deep within your chest either opens dramatically, expanding with boundless love and potential, or tightens with an intense, almost fearful pressure. And sometimes, with the paradoxical complexity of spirit, both sensations arise at once. This paradox, this simultaneous pull and push, is not a sign of confusion or incompatibility. Rather, it is the visceral, energetic sensation of being guided, profoundly and purposefully, by someone your soul trusts completely, implicitly, and unconditionally, even while your human self, with its layers of vulnerability and past wounds, is still learning how to fully surrender and trust that deeply, that completely. It's the sensation of your inner being aligning with a higher frequency, which can initially feel overwhelming to the lower vibrational aspects of self. The role of the guiding light in a soulmate bond is among the most profound yet most misunderstood in all of spiritual connection. People, again, often operate from the expectation that if someone is truly meant to help you rise, to elevate your consciousness, they will feel consistently comfortable, always soothing, always agreeable. But a true guiding light does not simply validate where you are, nor do they merely affirm your current state of being, however limited it may be. Their sacred purpose is far grander. They hold the uncompromising vision of where you are going, the blueprint of your highest potential. They love you too much to let you remain small, stuck in old patterns, or mired in limiting beliefs. Their love is not a comfort blanket. It is a radiant torch that illuminates the path forward, even when that path appears challenging or unfamiliar. They are like a master sculptor, seeing the magnificent form hidden within the raw marble and lovingly, painstakingly, chiseling away all that obscures its true beauty. This often feels, from the inside perspective of the human ego, like conflict. It feels like being profoundly challenged, like being loved in ways your wound patterns and defense mechanisms do not yet know how to receive, or perhaps actively resist. It can feel like being stripped bare, vulnerable, and exposed. And the one carrying the light, the guiding soul, often does this without consciously realizing the full spiritual weight and profound purpose of what they are doing. They are not intentionally trying to provoke or dismantle you. They simply cannot be anything other than what they are near you. Their authentic, aligned presence inherently activates the deepest rooms in your own being, the hidden chambers where unconscious patterns and unhealed wounds reside, because that is precisely what they agreed to do in the pre-incarnation contract. Their very essence is a vibrational key that unlocks your hidden potentials and dormant shadows. When this second key turns within your heart, a significant shift in perception and acceptance takes place. You stop resenting the intense growth, the relentless stretching, the sometimes painful shedding that this relationship unequivocally demands. You begin to see the one who challenges your evolution, who reflects your shadows and pushes your boundaries, not as a source of pain, annoyance, or conflict, but as the most devoted, honest, and profound mirror your soul has ever been given. You recognize their role as a divine gift, a catalyst for liberation. You stop needing them to be easier, to conform to your comfort zones, or to mitigate their light for your sake. Instead, you start becoming more capable, more resilient, and more open to receiving the profound spiritual medicine, the unwavering truth, and the unconditional love that they have always been offering, often silently, through their very being. You learn to embrace the discomfort as an essential ingredient for true transformation. The third key, the awakening wound. What gets activated was always waiting to be healed. No soul contract designed for genuine, profound awakening can ever be fully fulfilled without the sacred, often arduous process of surfacing what has been hidden deep within the psyche and spirit. And for souls engaged in these kinds of intensely activating bonds, the hidden material, the unprocessed trauma, and the unconscious programming is often vast, intricate, and deeply entrenched. It includes the places you learned, subtly or overtly, that love was conditional, tied to performance, or easily withdrawn. It encompasses the moments when you decided that being fully seen, truly naked in your authenticity, was simply too dangerous, too vulnerable, or too risky. It holds the echoes of old stories and limiting narratives that told you, through various life experiences, that you were too much, or conversely, not enough, or somehow inherently unworthy of the depth of connection, the radical acceptance, and the expansive love your heart has always yearned for and craved since its very inception. These are the forgotten prisons of the soul, the unseen chains that bind. Your soulmate's presence, their unique energetic blueprint and unwavering frequency, acts as a kind of energetic solvent, a powerful alchemical agent. Not because they are consciously trying to dismantle you, to pick apart your defenses, or to expose your vulnerabilities intentionally, but because their frequency is so pure, so potent, and so profoundly aligned with the vibrational essence of your highest self, your most authentic truth, that everything within you that is misaligned, everything that is not authentically you, naturally and inevitably rises to the surface in their presence. It cannot help but reveal itself under the intense spotlight of their love and truth. This is the sacred wound activation that so many people, lacking the spiritual context and understanding, tragically mistake for incompatibility, a sign that the relationship is wrong or that they are simply not meant to be together. They see the chaos of the unraveling and assume it's destruction, not profound recreation. You are not incompatible, far from it. You are being healed. You are undergoing a profound process of spiritual surgery, a purification by fire. And healing, particularly in its initial, most intense stages, does not always feel like healing in the way we romantically envision it. Gentle, soothing, comforting. Often it feels like exposure. It feels like the most vulnerable, raw, and unvarnished version of yourself being brought, sometimes kicking and screaming, to the surface and asked to breathe air for the first time, to exist without its accustomed hiding places or protective coverings. It feels like tender flesh meeting the open air after years beneath a bandage. Painful, but necessary for true restoration. This is the divine surgeon's scalpel, cutting away what no longer serves your highest good, revealing the vibrant health beneath. When this third key turns within your conscious awareness, a profound internal shift occurs. You stop running, resisting, or recoiling from what the relationship surfaces in you, however uncomfortable or painful it may be. You begin to understand, with a deep, embodied wisdom, that every wound, every shadow, every limiting belief that rises into your awareness in this sacred connection is not new material. It is a wound that was already deeply embedded within you, simply waiting for a love powerful enough, pure enough, and brave enough to give it permission to finally be seen, acknowledged, integrated, and ultimately released. You stop blaming the relationship or the person for the pain of these revelations. Instead, you start thanking it and them for the profound and liberating revelation, for the opportunity to finally become whole. This gratitude transforms the crucible into a sanctuary. The fourth key, the darkness and the light. Spiritual challenge is not a sign to leave. There will be, if it has not already come with an undeniable force, a period in this profound bond that tests every dimension of your faith, your resilience, and your spiritual fortitude. This is not merely a test of your faith in the relationship itself, but a deeper, more existential trial. Faith in yourself, in the benevolent wisdom of the universe, in the very idea that love this profound, this transformative, is even real and not merely something you invented. A desperate illusion conjured to survive the gnawing ache of your own loneliness or unfulfilled longings. It is the spiritual equivalent of a dark night of the soul, where all previous certainties are questioned and the very ground beneath your feet feels unstable. This period of intense spiritual challenge, of profound internal and external pressure, is not a mistake in the sacred contract. It is not an error in the divine blueprint, nor a sign that the connection is flawed or broken. On the contrary, it is intricately written into the contract itself, an essential and non-negotiable phase of purification and strengthening. Because the human soul, in its journey towards ultimate liberation and expansion, cannot truly transcend a certain threshold of consciousness without being tested, purified, and refined at precisely that threshold. It is the divine fire that burns away all impurities. The version of you who simply wants to feel good, who seeks only comfort and ease, will inevitably interpret this period as undeniable evidence that the connection is irrevocably broken, that it has failed, and that the only logical recourse is to abandon it. But the version of you who is deeply committed to becoming more, who is willing to embrace the arduous path of true growth, will see this period for what it truly is: the exact trial, the precise crucible that forges the unparalleled level of soul strength, resilience, and unwavering faith required to hold and sustain a love this deep, this vast, and this eternally significant. It is the making of spiritual gold. Your guiding light, the one who, by sacred agreement, holds the torch for you through the darkest valleys and across the most treacherous terrain, will often remain remarkably steady and unwavering during this tumultuous time. This steadfastness can, at times, confuse and even humble you, inspiring awe and wonder. Not because they do not feel the immense weight of the journey, not because they are immune to the challenges or the emotional currents of the experience, but because their soul, in its profound wisdom and unwavering commitment, agreed to hold the unshakable vision of your shared destiny and your ultimate wholeness, even when your own human perception is clouded by fear, doubt, or the temporary darkness of the trial. They are not superhuman in an earthly sense. They are simply, purely, and powerfully fulfilling what they promised, acting as an anchor in the storm, a lighthouse on a distant shore. And somewhere, deep beneath your own fear, beneath the layers of forgetfulness and pain, there is a sacred, ancient part of you that remembers making a similar, equally profound promise, a vow of unwavering commitment to this shared journey. When this fourth key turns within your being, a profound liberation occurs. You stop measuring the inherent value, the sacred purpose, or the ultimate truth of the connection by how easy, comfortable, or frictionless it feels in the hard moments, in the midst of the fire. You begin to understand, with absolute clarity, that the spiritual challenge is not a punishment for past transgressions, nor is it a random act of fate. It is, instead, a profound purification. It is the sacred fire that systematically, meticulously, and lovingly removes everything within you, every attachment, every illusion, every fear-based pattern that simply cannot survive, cannot exist, and cannot be sustained in the radiant, uncompromising presence of real, authentic, and truly sacred love. It is the refining flame that prepares you for holding the immense power of this union. The fifth key, the language of soul guidance, presence, is the most powerful teaching. Spiritual guidance between soulmates, particularly in bonds of this profound nature, rarely sounds like a conventional lecture delivered from a podium. It rarely looks like one person explicitly explaining truths or imparting wisdom to another in a didactic manner, as if from a teacher to a student. In the most sacred, most highly evolved of these bonds, guidance transcends the limitations of verbal communication, and instead moves through the subtler, yet infinitely more powerful channels of presence, through energetic resonance, and through the exquisite silent frequency transmission that one soul's very being emits, inviting the other to remember what they already inherently know, what is encoded in their spiritual DNA. It is a silent symphony, a vibrational attunement. Your guiding light, in this context, does not teach you by having all the answers readily available and neatly packaged for your consumption. They teach you not by virtue of their intellectual prowess or their accumulated knowledge. Instead, they teach you by simply being, the kind of person whose very existence, whose authenticity, whose unwavering alignment with their own divine truth, makes you, often unconsciously, want to become more aligned with your own highest self, with your own truth. Their profound sense of inner peace, their centeredness, can often trigger your own deep-seated restlessness, revealing the areas within you that long for the same stillness. Their unwavering clarity in their purpose and path can subtly, yet powerfully, surface your own confusion, illuminating the places where your direction may be unclear. Their radical, unconditional love for themselves, their acceptance of their own magnificent being, quietly, gently, yet insistently asks you, through their energetic example, what would it truly look like if you loved yourself this way too? What possibilities would open up if you embraced your own worth with such unwavering devotion? This, make no mistake, is the highest and most profound form of spiritual teaching available between two human beings. It requires nothing more and nothing less than the unwavering willingness to remain authentically present with someone in their full, messy, glorious humanity, while simultaneously and courageously inhabiting your own full, messy, glorious humanity. It is not something that can be performed, rehearsed, or faked through superficial gestures or platitudes. It is simply what organically happens when one soul has diligently done enough of their own arduous inner work, enough of their own deep healing and self-mastery, that their very presence, their energetic field, becomes a natural, effortless, and irresistible invitation for another soul to rise, to remember, to expand, and to awaken to their own divine potential. Their being becomes a living sermon, a walking embodiment of spiritual truth. When this fifth key turns within your perception, a profound shift in how you receive guidance takes place. You stop waiting for your guiding light to explicitly give you the answer in words you can write down, in advice you can follow, or in clear, logical instructions. Instead, you begin to receive and deeply internalize the much deeper, more profound teaching that has been silently transmitted through every single moment, every shared glance, every significant silence, every interaction you have ever shared with them. You begin to understand, with a clarity that bypasses the intellect and settles deep in your bones, that their very presence in your life, their very existence in your orbit, has always been the profound message itself. And you have always, on the level of your soul, been intuitively reading it, absorbing it, and integrating it, even when your conscious mind was unaware. The sixth key, the separation as sacred space. Distance is not abandonment. If there has been a period of profound separation between you and this person, whether that separation manifested as physical distance, an emotional chasm, or an energetic withdrawal, a temporary severing of the immediate connection, your human heart, with its inherent vulnerability and its conditioned fear of loss, likely interpreted it as an ultimate loss, as a devastating failure, as undeniable evidence that the bond was perhaps not as real, as potent, or as eternally significant as it felt in the moments of deep connection. This is a natural, albeit often painful, human response to the disruption of intimacy. But from the expansive, all-knowing perspective of the soul contract, separation in a bond of this unparalleled depth and purpose is rarely, if ever, accidental or random. It is almost always meticulously designed, perfectly timed, and divinely purposed. The space created by distance, by the temporary absence, painful, agonizing, and disorienting as it often is to the human ego, is precisely the sacred space, the alchemical chamber, in which each soul is asked to do the essential interior work that simply cannot be effectively or fully done in the constant proximity, comfort, or distraction of the other's presence. It is the silent room where the guiding light, the torchbearer, is given the sacred opportunity to integrate their own profound wounds, to process their own karmic lessons, and to deepen their own spiritual alignment, so they can continue to hold an even cleaner, brighter, and more unwavering torch for themselves and for you. And it is the room where the one being guided, the seeker, is courageously asked to stand entirely on their own, to discover perhaps for the very first time that the immense strength, the profound wisdom, and the unwavering resilience they may have mistakenly attributed solely to the other person has, in fact, always lived, powerfully and eternally, within themselves. It is the phase of self-sovereignty. Separation, in this divine context, is the universe's most uncomfortable, yet undeniably effective way of communicating a crucial truth. You are not yet finished becoming who you need to be. You have not fully integrated the lessons for this profound union, this sacred partnership, to hold, to endure, and to flourish in its highest expression. It is not a harsh rejection of your worth or of the bond itself. It is, rather, a precise and potent period of preparation. It is the necessary chrysalis phase, where profound metamorphosis occurs in solitude, and the souls who bravely survive it, who dive deep into the interior work, who face their own shadows and heal their own wounds without the constant presence of the other person to lean on, to distract or to validate, emerge from this period with an unparalleled depth of self-trust, an unshakable inner knowing, and a profound self-mastery that makes the reunion, when it inevitably comes in its divinely ordained timing, something neither of them could have possibly sustained, truly a prayer. Initiated, or deeply embodied before the challenging, yet ultimately transformative period of distance, When this sixth key turns within your understanding, a profound sense of peace and purpose begins to replace the old narratives of regret or despair. You stop carrying the weight of separation as shame, as a personal failure, or as grief alone, allowing it to define your perception of the bond. Instead, you begin to consciously and gratefully extract from it the exact spiritual growth, the precise wisdom, and the invaluable self-knowledge it was always meticulously meant to produce within you. You understand, with unshakable clarity, that the distance never, not for a single moment, meant that the sacred contract was canceled, severed, or rendered void. On the contrary, it meant it was being honored at the deepest, most profound level of soul evolution, serving its ultimate, transformative purpose. The seventh key, the reunion readiness. The door opens from the inside. There is a moment that inevitably comes on this profound journey, quietly, subtly, almost without grand announcement, like the gentle dawn after a long night, when you realize, with a deep internal certainty, that you have fundamentally changed. This transformation didn't happen because the relationship demanded it, and you merely complied out of fear, obligation, or a desperate desire for reconciliation. No, it happened because the love itself, the pure, potent energy of the connection, and everything it activated and illuminated within you, has genuinely, organically, and profoundly reshaped the very essence of who you are. The old foundations have crumbled, and new, stronger ones have been built from within. The wounds are not necessarily perfectly healed. Indeed, the work of the soul is never truly finished in this lifetime, but the internal landscape is dramatically different. The signal you are broadcasting, the energetic frequency of your being, has shifted, becoming clearer, more aligned, more resonant with your authentic self. This is the sacred moment the door begins to truly open. This is not an external event, but an internal unlocking. Sacred reunion in a soulmate bond does not happen because the timing is finally convenient according to earthly calendars, or because the stars magically align in some poetic external way, independent of your inner state. It happens, fundamentally and unequivocally, because the interior landscape of both souls has shifted enough, has evolved enough, has been purified enough, that the love, in its full, radiant, and uncompromising power, can finally land somewhere it can be truly held, deeply received, and sustainably nurtured. The one who has been holding the light for you is not waiting for your perfection. They are not demanding that you arrive without a single flaw or remaining shadow. They are waiting for your readiness. And readiness, in this profound spiritual context, does not look like having it all figured out, possessing all the answers, or achieving a state of flawless enlightenment. It looks like a heart that is no longer running from itself, a spirit that has embraced its own vulnerability and strength, a soul that has reconciled with its own shadow, and a being that is finally, courageously, willing to stand in its authentic truth, open and available to receive the love it was always meant for. When this seventh key turns within your consciousness, a profound sense of liberation from anxious anticipation takes hold. You stop asking when, with a desperate, impatient energy that stems from fear and scarcity. You stop meticulously tracking the timeline, or obsessively trying to predict the future, with the desperate, fearful part of your mind that mistakenly believes love is a finite resource, running out of time to arrive. Instead, you begin to live, effortlessly and authentically, in the frequency of someone who knows, with quiet certainty, with an unshakable inner knowing, that what was deeply agreed upon before this life began will, without a shadow of a doubt, be gloriously fulfilled. This certainty arises because agreements made at the soul level do not expire. They are eternal, bound by divine law and unconditional love. They only patiently wait for both hearts to be open enough, courageous enough, and integrated enough to truly receive what they solemnly promised each other they would one day return to claim. Here is the truth that the deepest, most ancient part of you has always known, even in the moments when knowing it felt like an unbearable weight, too much to bear, too heavy for your human vessel. You were not forgotten. You were never overlooked by love, never cast aside into the cosmic anonymity. You were placed, with extraordinary precision, with divine intentionality, at the exact intersection of a path meticulously designed to produce the exact version of you who is capable of holding sacred union, of embodying profound partnership, without losing yourself inside of it, without dissolving your own sovereign self within the other. Every season of longing, every stretch of profound yearning, was not evidence of love's absence. On the contrary, it was the purposeful stretching of your internal capacity to receive it, the expansion of your spiritual vessel to contain a love of such magnitude. Every relationship that did not last, that ended in heartbreak or disillusionment, was not a failure of your heart, nor a testament to your unworthiness. It was, rather, your heart being fiercely faithful to a sacred standard it had already agreed to uphold, refusing to settle for anything less than its divine blueprint. Every moment of pain, every crucible of emotional intensity, was not a punishment for perceived faults. It was the soul contract powerfully at work, doing the only thing it was ever truly designed to do: bring you home to yourself, to the core of your being, so that you could finally, fully, unequivocally, come home to another, the one who has been holding the light for you, whether they are physically beside you at this very moment, whether they are somewhere in the distance, navigating their own journey, or whether they are still on their way, steadily approaching your shared destiny. They have not forgotten either. Souls who make agreements of this depth, this sacredness, do not forget. They may lose their footing on the challenging terrain of the human experience. They may need their own time, their own sacred solitude, to integrate lessons and heal wounds. They may, just like you, be in the middle of their own profound becoming, the same way you have been in the middle of yours, painstakingly sculpting their highest self. But the frequency that connects you, the luminous thread woven between your souls, does not go dark simply because the human experience became difficult, confusing, or painful. It remains. It waits. It calls. It whispers your name across the dimensions, and it is calling right now. That is why you are here, reading these very words, resonating with this profound truth. If something moved in you during this transmission, if something cracked open within your chest, a tightly guarded chamber that you have been holding shut for longer than you want to admit, honor that. Do not dismiss it as mere emotion, wishful thinking, or a trick of the mind. Your frequency, your soul's internal compass, knows the profound difference between fleeting fantasy and genuine, powerful activation. What you felt was real. What you are being called toward is real. Tonight, before you close your eyes and surrender to sleep, take a moment of sacred intention. Place your hand over your heart, your actual heart, not merely a symbolic gesture, but your physical, beating heart, the very center of your being, and speak these words aloud, letting them resonate through every cell of your body. I honor the contract I made. I trust the one who holds the light. I am ready to become who this love has always been asking me to be. You are not behind on your timeline. You are not too broken to receive this love. You are not too late for this divine appointment. You are exactly where the agreement said you would be at exactly the moment it said you would be there, perfectly positioned for the next phase of your journey. And the love that was written into your soul before this life began is not finished writing itself into your story. It is merely awaiting your full, conscious participation. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of what's forming here. Drop one intention in the comments, something real from your heart journey, a truth revealed or a courage found. Then respond to someone else's with encouragement or love. This isn't just content. It's collective healing, an energetic exchange that amplifies our individual and shared journeys. Love multiplies when hearts connect and uplift one another. If something in this message resonated deeply within your soul, don't keep it to yourself. Someone in your life, someone you know or are yet to meet, is waiting for this exact activation, this precise reminder of their own sacred journey. Share it, and if you felt a profound soul nudge, an unmistakable call to continue this journey of remembrance and awakening, subscribe. Stay in the flow of divine love guidance, allowing these transmissions to continue to nourish and direct your path. You're not just watching, you're healing. This is your sacred space, and we're just getting started. If this transmission spoke to you, don't just walk away from it, respond to it. Help carry this message further. Every act of support helps this transmission find the next starseed who needs it.